What's up, guys? One Koala Man here, bringing you episode number 29 of our fairy tale reviews. And if you enjoyed today's episode, guys, be sure to hit that like button down below. Be sure to comment your answer to the question of the day, and follow me on Twitter, both which will be in the description down below. And if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, because I welcome every single one of you with open arms, because I just love giving hugs. And I will warn you, I give big hugs. I don't know why, it's just how I am. Even though I'm not that big, obviously. I mean, look at this. Look at that, that's not big. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to try approaching today's episode a little bit differently. So, if you guys like it, and if I like it, we're going to keep going that way. So, let's get this mother underway. Alright, so Fairy Tail is victorious against the Phantom Lord Guild. But are they really victorious? Because they did lose their entire guild hall. So, I don't know. Is it a victory? So right now we're on top of the robot, and Gajeel and Natsu are pretty much laying down because they just got beat down from each other, and they're both exhausted. And Natsu is asking, like, hey Gajeel, where did you learn your Dragon Slayer magic? Because you're the only other person that I've seen that knows Dragon Slayer magic. And aside from giving Natsu a bunch of back sass, Gajeel eventually says that Metallicana, the Iron Dragon, is who taught Gajeel the Iron Dragon Slayer magic. Also, turns out that both of their, respective dragon parents both left them 7 years ago from, this time period, in the year 777 on the 7th day of the 7th month. Now that's a lot of sevens to go through, but Natsu wants to give a truce or make a truce between Gajeel, and Gajeel's like, screw you, man, I'm not making a truce with you. I don't care for both Dragon Slayers. You're dead to me. I don't like you. So like I said earlier, is Fairy Tail victorious even though they lost their hall? And the answer to that question is yes, because as long as everybody is safe, they can have a shack as their guild hall. As long as everybody is good, Makarov is good, we're all good. So after we find out that Fairy Tail is rejoicing after this victory, we hear Lucy narrating, and she is writing a letter to her mom, and she's narrating that about after a week after the Fairy Tail Guild beat Phantom Lord, they started rebuilding and remodeling the Fairy Tail Guild. Also, in that same week, Fairy Tail has been encountered by the Rune Knights, who is the army of the Magic Council. And along with their week of rebuilding and getting encountered by the Rune Knights decided to give a whole week of interrogation to the Fairy Tail Guild as to why this happened, what happened. So aside from being interrogated and rebuilding, Gray and Natsu of course fight a lot, and Juvia is, hanging back, and she's like that crazy stalker girl, because she just loves Gray so much, and she's just pretty much stalking Gray, saying how amazing Gray is, and how cold he is, no pun intended. So as they're rebuilding, they're saying, what is the guild even supposed to look like? And Mira shows a drawing of what the guild is supposed to look like, and it looks like looks like a 5-year-old drew it. And Gray just drops the hammer and said, what kind of idiot would draw something like this? And Mira's the idiot that drew this, and so she starts crying, and Gray's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And Juvia's saying, oh, he's so cold, but he's so warm to me. Oh! And she's just whipped. She's just whipped. So now Loki shows up, and he brings back Lucy's keys, and he says, where's Lucy at? And everybody's saying, well, we haven't seen her for a little while, so I don't know, she's probably at her house doing whatever. And so Loki hands them Lucy's keys and walks off, and as he's walking off, like, he stops, and then that Karen girl is like right behind him, like in a ghost form or whatever. I don't know if she's evil, if she's good, and he's like, I just need more time, okay? And so I don't know what the situation is. I really want to know who Karen is and what her relationship is with Loki. So now we're at Lucy's house, and the squad is all there, and they're trying to find Lucy, and they cannot find Lucy anywhere throughout her house. So what else better to do than snoop around, right? So they go snooping around, and they see like a stack of unopened, sealed letters written to Lucy's mom, and that's kind of odd, because why has Lucy not even sent them out if she was writing all these letters to her mom? But aside from all the letters addressed to Lucy's mom, which we know nothing about, we go to Urza, and she's looking at the desk, and there's a note that says, "I will be home," or "I'm going home," or something like that. And it's written from Lucy because I guess she knew that the squad would go in her house and start snooping around, so she just wrote a note as like a just in case. So now we're at Lucy's real house, back when she was a child, back when she lived with her father and her mother, and all of her servants, I guess, like her cook, her gardeners, her teachers, whatever, are saying, "Oh, Miss Lucy, you're finally back." And so Lucy has finally returned home. I don't know if she's going to stay or what her purpose is. So Lucy does what she came there to go for, and she came to confront her father. But before she did, she had to like get dressed in this prissy outfit or whatever, this one dress, I don't know. And she went to go confront her father, who is in his own office, of course, because he never leaves that freaking office. Every time we've seen or heard about anything about her father, he's always been in his office because he is one of the richest people in all the land. So Lucy and her father are talking, and Lucy's dad is very shallow, and the only reason that he wanted her to come back is not because he missed her, not because he wanted to let bygones be bygones. No. He wanted her to marry into another rich family so that those two rich families can like fuse together, and then there'll be a monstrous rich family. There'll be like a monopoly out there. And Lucy's like, "No, I'm not having this. I did not come here to make amends. I came here to say my final goodbyes because I did leave without saying goodbye to you." So Lucy finally puts her foot down, and she just yells at her dad, and she's saying, "Look, I'm not going to marry this man. I am going back to Fairy Tale. That is where I belong. Now, I know you probably hate it, and I'm sorry, but I am not the daughter that you wanted. So, I mean, you're just going to have to deal with it pretty much, Pops." And that made me respect Lucy even more. Like, I really despised how Lucy kept complaining, like, "Oh, it's all my fault." And everybody's saying, "No, Lucy, it's not your fault." I just really hated that. But after her standing up to her own father, who is one of the most powerful men in all the land, that made me respect Lucy even more. Now Lucy is finally about to leave, and she's looking at this statue, and turns out it is not just a statue, it's like a memorial for her mother, who died in the year 777. Now why do I say it like that? Because if you remember, in the beginning of this episode, Metallicana and Igmeal, the dragon parents of Natsu and Gagio, both left in the year 777. Now, I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's just destiny, but that is freaking weird. Okay? That's weird in my eyes. So, I don't know what it could mean. I really hope there is a connection between those two. And that about does it for the episode. Alrighty, guys, that does it for today's episode. And I hope you enjoyed, because this was a new, although it was like, you know, chronological order of the review, I did do it like a lot of different parts. So usually like I just group up, okay, like here's my notes. I write down notes all the time, and I usually group them up, and then in each segment I talk about that certain group. Now sometimes I forget to add parts to it, and I, you know, leave stuff out on accident, and then I'm like, shoot, man, how am I going to put this back in? And I can never figure out a way to put it back in. So instead of grouping them all together, I just decided to go with each single point. And I hope that really helped, because it honestly helped me. If it's confusing in the final project, I apologize. I'll probably go back to grouping them and talking about them in groups. But aside from that, I do not like to end off these without a question of the day. Alright, so today's question of the day is regarding the Dragon Slayers and their dragon parents. So, which element or whatever type of Dragon Slayer would you like to see? We've seen fire and we've seen iron. So which type of Dragon Slayer would you want to see? Now, I would really want to see a water Dragon Slayer, because I love water like anything. I love water magic. I love water type Pokemon. I love the water Dragon Slayer. So I wonder, is Juvia a water Dragon Slayer? Now that is probably really pushing the button, like really pushing it. I highly doubt she is, but that would be legit if she was. Now, let me know down in the comments below, what type of Dragon Slayer would you want to see in the anime? So, without further ado, that does it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoy, and as always, guys, keep it cool.